Hey folks, Lumps the Clown here, and today I'll be discussing what is one of the most grossly underrated RPGs out there today, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Released by Square in 1992 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Mystic Quest is a spin-off of the main Final Fantasy series. What makes it unique amongst its more grown-up brethren is that it's targeted towards entry-level players, or rather players with little to no experience with RPGs. Despite the two big-ass disclaimers located on the box that allude to this, salty reviewers everywhere blasted Mystic Quest for being too simple and lacking depth. Instead of ripping these people to shreds, let's reference those aforementioned disclaimers verbatim, shall we? Entry-level role-playing adventure. Here's your chance to play the world's first role-playing game for the entry-level player. Even better, Square ran a limited-time offer that could net interested players a free strategy guide. Upon release, Mystic Quest had an average retail price of $39.99, while its big brother Final Fantasy IV was going for $59.99. Earthbound ran a similar promotion that provided the strategy guide with purchase, but gamers had to pay a premium in order to get it. Square was being insanely generous with their offer and even ran full-page ads that not only touted their free strategy guide offer, but the fact that Mystic Quest was, wait for it, a fucking entry-level RPG! Square was pulling out all the stops to get the word out on RPGs to North American gamers in 1992, and never aimed to misinform prospective buyers. Back then, RPGs in North America were still kind of a new thing, and Final Fantasy's main entries were getting more complex with each new title. Instead of inundating new entrants with perceived aggressive features such as active time battles, random enemy encounters, huge parties of varying classes, and not to mention hours upon hours of grinding for experience and gold, Mystic Quest provided a plethora of its own features to help introduce players to common elements found in RPGs, such as removal of random encounters in favor of on-screen enemies that never move within dungeons, and no random encounters whatsoever in the overmap world. Controlled battlefields where cleaning out enemies nets the players either experience or items. Only one other party member can accompany the main character at any time. The other party member can be set to automatic or AI mode or manually controlled by the player. Automatic armor or weapon upgrades eliminate the need for time-consuming stat comparisons between items. And perhaps the most charming feature of Mystic Quest of all? The ability to save absolutely anywhere. Oh, and did I mention that this game comes with 3 different save slots? Bring your friends. So instead of focusing on the numerical and textual minutiae that seems to dominate bigger RPGs, Mystic Quest simply offered a game where you could jump right into the action and save fucking absolutely anywhere. Got a big boss fight coming up? Save that shit. About to enter a new dungeon? Save that shit. Did you just shit your pants hearing about this awesome feature and now in desperate need of an emergency wipe? Save that shit. Whenever I hear the problems of my fellow now adult gamers, they lament on their lack of free time to truly get immersed in the world of an awesome, traditional, albeit time-consuming RPG. With jobs, children, and significant others hogging up what little free time they have, adult gamers are finding it harder and harder to justify grinding through multiple battles to get that lazy old man to cough up the damn mithril in Final Fantasy VII. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. So how does Mystic Quest fit into all this? Simple. It's an RPG that both children and adults can sink their teeth into, albeit for different reasons. When it was released in 1992, the majority of us were not only children, but also fledgling gamers who knew little about RPGs. Luckily for us, Mystic Quest was there to set the tone. Had we not been able to see our enemies in the field, jump right back into a difficult battle, or save when we needed to, I believe that more than a few of us would have been turned off by the concept of RPGs during a time when the game ministry wanted us to pay attention. Final Fantasy II and III were tearing it up in Japan, but not enough to convince their then young target audience that complex RPGs were a good idea. And if you think I'm playing, try talking to an average 10-year-old and see if they understand the concept of experience-based progression or the pros and cons of back row versus front row combat positions. See how long they listen to you before they toddle off to pick their nose, fart into their friend's juice box, or build an atomic bomb using only a potato and some pipe cleaners. Fast forward about 5 years later. Not only were our hormones racing, but so were the hearts and minds of old Japanese businessmen everywhere. Oh wait, that totally came out wrong. Anyway, Square decided that it was finally time to slap North American gamers across the face with some polygonal goodness and delivered Final Fantasy VII to our front door, uncut and ready to mingle. With a deep and complex storyline, multitude of side quests, and countless materia combinations, Final Fantasy VII took no shorts and opened up Western gamers to the complex allure of JRPGs, leaving a spent trail of life's dream in its wake. However, as many of us began getting jobs at McDonald's to pay for our gas and relentless BMG subscriptions, it became harder and harder for us to find the time to make it through Mount Nibble or avert our eyes from the sexy shenanigans happening at the Honeybee Inn long enough to get to a damn save point. Not wanting to lose the last hour or so of progress, we either left it on or angrily snapped it off and went about our business, vowing to complete it later, if ever. Someday, damn it, someday I'm gonna beat it. Once I get to college, life will be so much simpler and I can game whenever the hell I want without mom or dad getting in the way, and life happened. Many of us are now in our late 20s to mid-30s, have a gang of kids, and locked down in our dead-end jobs for a crippling 40 or more hours a week. Any chance we could have had at toppling both the Emerald and Ruby weapon were shamelessly robbed away from us by our endless obligations to appease others. After finally tucking little hellions into bed and jilling off the old ball and chain, maybe rubbing one out yourself if you have the energy, you plop your broken ass down in front of the PC for a soothing therapeutic session of Dark Souls, and quickly pass out in your chair. Who has the time to worry about tactical combos, random arrows to the face, and punishing bosses so large that only their monstrous monster crotch fills up the screen while you feverishly peck off their seemingly endless life bar node by node? Damn it, I died again? All I need to do is get to that fucking save point and I'll be able to get 3 hours of sleep. Die, motherfucker, die! Shit! Fuck it. Sadly, this is one of the many problems that millennial gamers have with conventional RPGs. For many of them, the amount of text or cutscenes is ungodly, grinding for experience or items is not cool anymore, and there's simply too much space in between save points. Some newer titles have tried to alleviate this problem by integrating autosaves, but even that requires making your way to a certain part of the game in order to activate it, barring any in-menu save function. And guess what was collecting dust in your closet all this time? The best answer to all of your current RPG problems. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Clear, easy to follow storyline? Check. A fair amount of puzzle solving and exploration when the mood hits? Check. An auto-upgrading weapon and armor system that eliminates the need for time-consuming stat combing and number crunching? Check. The ability to save whenever and wherever you want? Check. Vibrant colors and sprites to brighten your darkened soul? Check. Sure, you can hammer on all day about how simplistic Mystic Quest is, or question why Square feels the need to coddle you when you're a big grown gamer now. You're missing the point. Square knew that you'd need a little encouragement to check out their award-winning series, and that hitting you out of nowhere with nonsensical numbers, varying classes, and a giant wall of text wouldn't sell you on it right then and there. It's almost as if Square aimed to deliver an RPG that provided a fulfilling experience on minimal mind power, much like the overworked adult desperately trying to recapture their youth. Instead of jumping in looking for the next Skyrim or Diablo, try playing Mystic Quest as if you're playing Solitaire on your PC, half-lidded and barely there. I guarantee that you'll have a much more fulfilling experience than watching all those cards shatter against the window. Being an adult sucks sometimes, huh? We tend to overthink everything when we really should just be enjoying the game. I'd like to personally thank Square for thinking about us RPG fanatics, both when we were learning and after we got spoiled and bogged down by life. This is Lumps the Clown, and I want to thank you all for tuning in for the biggest damn clowny salute to one of the biggest unsung heroes in RPG history. Lumps the Clown out.